Adrian from Tyre Tech, and we've come to have a look at chocolate. I've not been in any rush to get it fixed because it's been winter and we've been using our mini electric as usual. But now that the spring and summertime mini shows are coming along, we've put a bit of effort into getting the car complete. So it's been here for a little while, and Adrian's done a lot of work on it, and I'm here today to find out exactly what's been done. So Adrian, nice to see you again, mate.
And you, Charlie.
Thank you very much for everything you've done. So do you want to just run by what we've got so far?
Yeah, I mean it came in with various faults on there, but obviously you've got to cure one before you can cure another before you can cure another. So we've it's been a bit of a process of elimination. But we had one of the breather pipes on there that was split, which obviously was causing issues.
That's what was making the exhaust blowing sound, yeah?
No, that was actually from the top of the engine, and then it recirculates it back into the inlet manifold. So obviously that wasn't recirculating properly, and it was getting too much air into the engine, which was causing it to run badly.
Right.
The exhaust issue, there was a blown gasket between the turbocharger and the catalytic converter. That was blown.
Right.
Which were replaced. Took it up the road. Then it still had issues with that, and we found once we traced that back to the wastegate on the turbo. Part of the turbo was all worn, so the wastegate wasn't closing properly, which was causing a problem. So that needed, unfortunately, that had to have a new turbo.
Right.
So we've put a new turbo on it. While we were there, we'd got the turbo off. We noticed that you had some oil leaks from the oil filter housing, which it's a bit of a pain to get to with it in situ. So while we had the turbo off, we've had the oil filter housing off, replaced all the O-rings and gaskets on that, cleaned all the engine block down so you can't see where. So that's all sealed. You're not getting any oil from there.
There was a lot of oil all over the engine.
There was,
underneath the bonnet.
And we also found out that the feed pipe, which you replace anyway when you do the turbo, that was leaking oil as well. The banjo bolts and the sealing washers on there, they were leaking. So obviously, fortunately, we got new ones with those when we put the turbo on, so they've been done. So that's eliminated that problem.
Right.
We also noticed as well that one of the water pipes which goes to the turbo, where the actual rubber pipe connects to the metal banjo part of it, that had all broken.
Wow.
So that was basically just waiting to fall off. We did notice there was some coolant loss, which is obviously where that's been coming from, so we've replaced that as well. So it's oil tight and it's watertight now on the front. We've had it up the road. It goes really, really well now.
Great.
It's got all its power back, as it should be.
Well, it was on 160,000+ miles, wasn't it? So
it is, yeah. And obviously, if an engine like that's been well looked after, 160,000 miles is nothing.
Yeah.
I've got another one in at the moment. It's not a Cooper S, but that's in at the moment. Customer of mine, he's had it for just over 3 years. He's put 60,000 miles on it since he got it. It's now just under 190,000 miles.
Wow, yeah.
And it runs as sweet as a nut. It really does.
I mean, my feeling about this was that I particularly wanted this spec car. In 2012, we had the Mini Hampton limited edition Clubman with the similar lounge leather interior and the Cooper S spec. But I was trying to find one at a reasonable price, and they were all beyond my budget. And I saw this, which fundamentally is the same car, just a different colour. And it had been looked after, as far as I could tell, but it had just done a lot of miles and needed a bit of love, So
the chocolate brown ones are a sought after model.
Yeah,
they are a sought after model.
Yeah. Well, that brings me on to another subject, because you've been doing a few cosmetic things as well around the car, and I wanted to put the spotlights on the front. I'm going to add the gold stripes eventually. I'm going to do the roof white, and that really brings it into the same colour spec as the Mini Mayfair Now, back when they did the 50 years limited editions, the Clubman Hampton was the Clubman version.
Yep.
The hatchback limited edition was the Mayfair.
That's right.
Which they did in a brown and a white. So I thought I'd turn this into a Mayfair Clubman, which would make it unique.
Why not?
Yeah. So anyway, I bought a few bits and pieces, and I thought maybe if you could. I know you're working on the door hinges, and
yeah, we're just waiting on a few more bits coming from Mini, just so we can finish that off.
Yeah.
And then that'll be that bit done.
And then once I've got all those bits and pieces done, then we'll probably send it to the body shop and get the body tidied up, and get it resprayed, and hopefully at the end of that I'll have spent a bit too much money.
Far too much, but it's not about the money, is it?
I'll have a nice car, the car that I want.
Yeah.
Which is really what it's all about.
Yeah.
Can I just get that box, darling? Right. Right, Adrian, I've got a couple of bits and pieces here. This is a new speaker cover.
Yep, brilliant.
That's all that you're working on.
Yep.
And I've got these.
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah. So they will replace, I hope, they should do, shouldn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Direct fit.
Yeah. So that'll go on there.
Yep.
And then in the door sill, I've got these, which are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, you can imagine these are difficult to find. I actually got these in Canada, and they weren't cheap, but they're almost impossible to find. I couldn't find any others anywhere. I had no choice. So on that basis, I bought them. But yeah, I think it will look quite original when it's finished.
Yeah, it'll just tart it up quite nicely. That
yeah, it's just a bit of fun, you know. Yeah,
it's a nice subtle upgrade.
Yeah. So all right, well I'll leave all that with you.
Yep.
And hopefully we can pick the car up later this week.
Yeah. Yeah, just waiting on the last few bits coming.
One of the reasons I got this car is, I've got my Mini Electric, which I love. It's a fantastic car, and for days like today, zooming around, it's really the perfect little car, to be honest with you. And we can run it, charging it on a public charger. If we go to Tesco's on a pod point, 40 pence per kilowatt hour, then it's probably doing about 10 to 12 pence per mile. Now the petrol price has come down. If you're getting 30 or 40 from a petrol engine, and you can get your petrol at £1.50, then there's not a great deal of difference, to be honest with you, in the cost. So I've got a trip coming up where we're going to be going down south, and I'm going to be under pressure to get from here to there and everywhere, and I've got to carry a bit of stuff with me, and this will be the car I shall use, because I don't want to be stopping every 100 miles and spending 45 minutes to charge it up. So whilst the electric car revolution is great, it's still got a lot of
there's a long way to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of limitations to it. So this is a backup car which we can rely on if we do have to go off anywhere. Great as they are, they've got their limits. So I'm going to be very happy to have this on the road as our second backup car.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, that's another video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. And if you did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and I'll answer you. And please subscribe and click on that bell icon so you're reminded every time I add up another video. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.